p.m. and then I clicked to like go to set the timer, and it was 7 a.m. I'm like, "Ooh, they're halfway around the world. That's early for me."
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Are we live? Let me just double check. We should be. Yay, we are live. Okay. My name is Zara Hoffman. I am a self-published author of young adult paranormal romance. Thank you for coming to my channel. And I apologize for being late. I was out most of the day, and so it took me a bit longer to get situated for tonight than usual. And I have a guest with me, and she will introduce herself. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I think I'm muted.
You're not muted. I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, sure. Hi, my name is Nia, aka the Vixen of Fiction. I just recently joined AuthorTube. I've been watching you guys for a while and just having fun watching various AuthorTuber and BookTuber videos, and decided to jump in. So yeah, that's me. Hello.
Yay. So Nia has picked 5 trees because this, unlike my normal streams on Sundays and now even Wednesdays, this is planned to go for 3 hours. We will see if we last that long. But I'm going to read the comments and then we'll get started soon. Hello, Alley Cat. Nice to see you. Hi, Tiesta. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I apologize. Tista? Oh, that would also make sense. It's so hard. And then people sometimes people write it out the way it says in the dictionary, with the weird signs. And I'm like, I don't know what an upside down, whatever the hell it is, means in the dictionary. Just say what it rhymes with or something.
I'm good with those. So if you want to phonetic it out for us.
Yeah. Regina's here. Thank you. Nia was in the comments. Hello, Emery. Regina loves your avatar icon, Nia, which I totally agree.
Thank you.
Let's see. Okay. Hi, Silver. Thank you for being here. Gabby, yay. Yes, it's been a while, but I'm happy you're here. Mika, hello. Hi, Devesha. Hello, Remedy. Ty East. Okay.
Ty East. Okay.
Cool. Thank you for that. That was very helpful. Because a lot of other people will be like, oh, it's pronounced like this. And I'm like, that still doesn't help me. So, how is everyone? If people want to comment that in the chat, I'm not going to read those answers. But Nia, how's it going for you?
It's going good. Yeah, it's Preptober. It's my first one. So it's been...
wow. Okay, because I know you and now I'm blanking because it's been such a crazy day for me. But someone else in AuthorTube also this is their first Preptober. I'm first. Oh, I just remembered who it was. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Haley.
Yeah, Kahila, who also started AuthorTube kind of recently. This is her first NaNoWriMo, November NaNoWriMo. She did the camps. And she's like, oh yeah, this is my first NaNoWriMo. And it's wild to me that people are still doing Nano for the first time, but it's so exciting.
It is.
I didn't think about it.
I have no idea what to expect. I've seen everything from the spectrum of I've done a bunch of them and never finished to I've done all of them and I love them, So yeah. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea how I'm going to do.
I would say that there are certain people who I know who have it down to a science, and I do it every year. And every year I've been in school, and every year, because my classes are different, it's been different for me each time. So I'm someone who like does it mostly for the community, and like no matter what, even if I don't hit the 50,000 words, I'll be productive on my novel. I'm not like one of the people who's like, oh, it's like that or bust. So, like if I don't get reached by the end of the month, I just quit halfway through. I'm like, no. Like I'm going to take all the productivity that I can. But I still don't have a routine, which I feel like would make it easier if I had one. Every time I tell myself I'm going to make a writing routine, I do it for like 2 days and it's no longer a routine. So yeah. What are you working on tonight?
So I am going to, I'll be adding a little bit into my outline. I've got my outline for 3 books and the history, which will probably be a 4th book. I don't know what order I'm gonna, like something's gonna happen and it's gonna be like
exciting.
So I want to go back and tell how we got there. So it's 4 books. And I'm working with Jay, who's been like, oh, yeah, you got to do the first 2 books. And then when that happens, go back and then do the 4th. And I'm like, OK, that sounds just working out how it's going to go.
I'm very excited for you. That just sounds like a lot of fun. I love series. I also really like writing them. My NaNoWriMo project this month, though, is actually a standalone because that was what won on my poll when I put it on Instagram. And I'm kind of relieved because part of me is like, oh, I don't have to worry about continuity issues. It's like just like it's one story. Because I wrote a trilogy. I wrote and published a trilogy. Hold on, wait.
Let me see.
My paranormal romance trilogy. So, book 1, book 2 is the best friend and the brother of the girl. And then book 3, the guy, which hand am I? The guy is the girl's ex-boyfriend and her brother's best friend.
Ooh.
So like they're all like standalones, but they're all interconnected. So there is still the series of like, if you said something in book 1, you can't like mess it up in like a later book. And then in April, not June. There's no Camp Nano in June. In April and July, I wrote the first book of another trilogy because my brain was just like, hey, you know, like how you wanted to like write series and standalone and series and standalone. We're gonna just jump way ahead of that and like have you write this series. So,
awesome.
Today's stream might be hard because my cat took over my desk. That's okay. Nia has fur babies. My fur baby might be interrupting at some point. So pets, they rule our lives and we love them anyway.
Yes, we do.
Silver has never done Nano because they draw more than they write. Oh, well, that's cool. Are you going to try Nano this year or are you just not at all? Let me just type in the code. Wow, that is a long code.
Yeah, Silver, I draw too, and I do a lot of art. And one of the things that I've been working on is my, I want to do kind of a webcomic, but I also kind of want to do a graphic novella. So I can totally relate to drawing more than writing. Sometimes I do that.
Both of those sound so cool. I'm in a publishing class, and I'm in one of my classes is I'm in a publishing program. There we go. And one of my classes was about marketing. And our first assignment last week was all about graphic novels. And I was like, I don't read enough of these. I need to read more.
Yeah.
Silver said maybe they'll write a short story. Remedy has never done Preptober, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, my Preptober, I made a video last Saturday. I think it was last Saturday about my Preptober plans. And this story that I'm going to be working on is actually 5-ish years old. And like I've fully outlined it a while ago and I've written like the first half of this story. So complete Nano Rebel this year. I'm not always, sometimes I'm absolutely like traditional Nano or like start on November 1st, like writing the new draft, but I'll always try to do November to plan. And then I normally don't plan as much as I wanted to. But this month, because I've like had it sitting in my brain for so long, I'm actually not doing a lot of planning for this project because it's already planned. So Preptober looks like a lot of things to a lot of people, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Wow, a lot of comments just popped in that I had missed. Okay, so I'm going to go through that quickly, and then we'll start the sprint because people are in the room. If you are not in the room yet, please type in the code, because my stream on Wednesday, there were certain people who were on YouTube and then they weren't putting in the code fast enough. And we're like, wait, I missed the tree. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't want to not do sprints for people who aren't using the forest app. Okay, people are talking about their pets. Thais said, I have to kick my dog out of my room. She's small and will get in my way if I don't stop her. My dog is not small, but thankfully she's not like a real jumper. So like she can't actually get in the way of my writing unless I'm sitting on the ground, which is why I don't do that. Hi, Maya. Thank you for being here. Thais said, my dog is a total lap baby. Yeah, that's my dog. Stig, 100%. How about series and series and series? And series. Yeah, that's my brain.
Yeah, I do not know how to join a room on the Forest app.
Oh, so oops, sorry, my ring light's gonna reflect really hard. Okay, next to the flame, if you tap that and turn on plant together mode.
Gotcha.
And then at the bottom of your phone screen, it'll say join room. And then you type in the code. Silver might do a graphic novel for Nano this year.
Oh, awesome.
That would be very cool.
All right.
You in?
I'm typing in the code now.
Okay. I don't want to start it before my co-host is in the room. That would be rude. Silver's cat left for food, so now they have their desk back. Stig really wanted to write a standalone for my first novel, and I tried really hard to make it a standalone, but now it's a trilogy. # just writer things. So this actually was going to be a trilogy. The first book itself was going to be a trilogy, and then I realized Act 3, like the third book, was not substantial enough, and I was like, can I make this all in one book? And I did, and then it was a good thing too, because then the side characters were like, yo, we want our own books. And I'm like, great. Still going to be a trilogy after all of that.
All right.
Okay, ready?
No, I don't know why it's not letting me in the room. You know what? I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I am slightly dyslexic, so certain letters next to each other.
You want me to read it out loud to you? Would that help?
Yes, actually that does.
Okay. 5, F, 5, C, G, 8D.
And no matter how many times I did it, I kept mixing up the C and the G. It's just the thing that happens with me all the time. My husband points out to me.
No, I'm happy to read it. I had no idea. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, well, I didn't know for years. When I learned how to read, I loved reading, so it just never bothered me. I didn't know until I was in high school. And I saw a teacher writing on the board, and she did what I do. When she was looking at, I think it was two numbers, like I don't know if it was a 5 and an 8 or something like that. Or she saw me at the board do it, and she told me what I was like, yeah, that happens to me all the time. She goes, me too. She explained it to me. And I was like, oh, I just been kind of like just dealing with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now you know, and you can try to.
Yep.
Okay, so it is 7:20, and we're going to start our first 20-minute sprint of the night in 3, 2, 1. Happy. And that's the end of the first sprint. How did everyone do? Nia, don't forget to unmute yourself.
Okay.
How'd you do?
All right. Well, I got an additional 184 words, but I was organizing my outline, going through it, seeing where I'm going to start at. So it was productive. Not as many words, but a lot done.
What we're aiming for. I had almost finished the border of a new puzzle before the live stream started, and then I finished it during that sprint. And I just had to glue 2 things that had broken. So I did no writing, but I accomplished certain things that I wanted to. So.
Yes. Okay, that's good.
Maya is stuck between 3 things and doesn't know what to choose. I literally asked my followers on Twitter and Instagram and my newsletter to vote for me. And then I had some people writing me like, well, what do you feel drawn to? And I'm like, all of them equally. Otherwise, I would have had it a 50-50 vote. Like, you know, like I wouldn't have given you 3 options to vote for. So, I mean, sometimes if you're equally drawn to all of them, just ask for another opinion. Kelly came by to say hi and to ask people to hit the like button and subscribe. So thank you for that. Sorry, I'm fidgeting with all the different views on StreamYard. Yes, so if you would hit the like button, that would be much appreciated for me. It really helps my channel. It lets me know that you like these streams, especially since I added 2 extra streams per week for this month and November. Because I'm kind of crazy, but also why not? Yes. So PSA from Kelly. Don't know if she's still here. Silver got stuck a bit trying to figure out how to phrase one sentence. Yeah, that gets me. I have, I know there are writers who are like, oh, just put in brackets what's supposed to happen here. And it's like, that doesn't work for me unless it's like a name. And even then, like I normally try to like have names down, whereas I know some authors who like don't name until the very end. And I'm like, how do you do that? But like, I'm not someone who can just leave a placeholder really and just move forward. So I totally get being stuck on that.
Yeah, I will give my character just some kind of name, but usually a name and then a little asterisk, so I know I don't like this name. Go back and fix it. Find a good one.
Yeah, like I'll keep going. But I need something. I can't just be like MC or like school. You know what I mean? Like I need to test something.
No, just name them John and keep on going.
John Smith, John Doe. Just other really boring names. Regina got 400. Congratulations. Luna Rabbit got 100. Just outlining, though. I mean, 100 words is 100 words, and outlining is good for people who outline. I'm not going to say that people who don't outline need to outline. I'm not one of those preachy people. I'm trying to become a planner, and some of my, like, all my stories are now getting increasingly planned, but I still, like, start pantsing at some point. So it's like, I'm not a full planner, and I don't know if I ever will be, but I'm definitely currently still a plantser, which is halfway between pantser and planner. Or in the middle. Because like I said, I don't think I'm a 50-50 person. Cora got 422. Awesome. Emery got 341 of a fun practice scene. Fun practice scene. As in like your characters are practicing something in the scene, or the scene was for your writing practice. Either is cool, but I'm just curious because I have like in my first book, she's learning magic. So when I say I wrote a practice scene, I mean like she was practicing magic versus like, oh, I was practicing writing. Hi, RP. Thank you for dropping in.
Hi, RP.
RP will be co-hosting on my channel on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please come back for that. Remedy got 234 words. I love those like numbers where they count up.
Yeah.
There's something stupidly satisfying about those. Got distracted discussing how to make the movie Ghost Rider better. I feel like that would be a long list. So I can see how that would be distracting. Haley finished watching an episode of Supergirl and is all set up to work on her nano project. Awesome. You're writing a novel? I mean, it's nano, but I know some people don't work on novels during nano because she does playwriting too. So are you doing a script or are you doing a novel for your nano project? Hi, Nikki. I was here. Didn't say anything. That's okay. I've worked on live streams before. Also, sometimes if I have a live stream where like I'm in class, but I'm obviously awake and remember to, I'll open a friend's live stream and put it on mute and just have it in the background to support them.
Yep.
So I totally understand being a silent lurker supporter. So I appreciate it. Wrote 250 words, outlined a 500 word scene. Cool. How do you know that your scene is going to be 500 words? I'm just a bit curious about that. Scene 19 of my goal is to get to scene 21 or 22 today. Okay, well, we have 4 more sprints, so I'm sure you will be able to get that. I'm trying to design characters for Nano and reading Save the Cat. Designing characters, like illustrating them yourself? Because that's cool. I can't draw to save my life, but Nia does.
Yes, it's so much fun. My next thing I'm going to do when I'm done with this is I'm going to do a book cover for my nano project. I'm like, we can do that? I was so excited.
Oh, yeah.
This is my first time. So like every time I can do something that has to do with art, I'm like, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be so exciting. Let's see. Oh, Gabby was reading Save the Cat. Save the Cat is great. I made a video all about outlining methods, and that was one that I covered. It's really popular for a good reason, so.
I have it. Cool. Yes, it's good.
Thais, editing, so my word count keeps going up and down. I totally get that. But like when I do editing, I don't count it in words. I mean, I have to this year because I'm doing mill wording, and I'm personally counting any new words that I write in any stage, revising, editing, all different versions of editing. Whereas I know some people who, if they're revising or they're editing, they're being like, oh, I reread the words, so I'm counting those words. And I'm like, I see, like, to me, that would feel like I'm cheating. So I'm not doing that. But like when I'm editing normally outside of 2020 and this crazy mill wording challenge that started on September 1st, I just am like, oh, the scene or the chapter.
Yeah.
I normally have like 2 scenes per chapter, 2 to 4 scenes per chapter. So depending, if there's like 2 scenes per chapter consistently, then I count it by chapter in my head. And if it's like, if there's not a uniform number of scenes per chapter, then I count it by scenes because it makes me feel better where it's like, oh, I've done like a higher number than like the chapter.
Yeah, but that's good, Thais. So it's still productive.
Exactly. Productivity is productivity. Haley, thank you. I'm glad you're liking the streams. I've got to ask, how do y'all outline? Because I'm really trying here and I want to open a doc and right away. Nia, why don't you answer first?
I have like an outline Bible. It's like insane. You don't want to follow me. Don't do what I do. It's a lot. It's a book.
I mean, I feel like that would help in some ways. Mine is normally when I'm outlining and I like actually make myself outline, I normally try, I'm still working on like actually following systems like Save the Cat or Romancing the Bee or, oh my God, whatever, not the point. I was trying to do the snowflake method for one of my stories because it's kind of the closest to what I naturally do, whereas like I have an idea myself and then I'm like, okay, break it down by chapter. But for them, they're like, oh, the snowflake method is you have a sentence and then you make it a paragraph, then you make it to 4 paragraphs and then 4 pages, 1 page for each paragraph. and then you take each paragraph and you like break it down into scenes. So what I used to do before I followed any system was I would just be like, here's what I know needs to happen, and I'd write that stuff down like in the general order that it would happen, and then I would just kind of be like, okay, what do I think is going to happen in chapter 1? Write out like bullet points, and then chapter 2, whatever, and then all my chapters have alternating points of view. Either each chapter is one character's point of view, or each scene is one character's point of view, and it's broken up along chapters. It depends on the story. So I would normally be like, okay, this needs to happen, and it needs to happen from this character's point of view, and I think it happens around here, and then I want to see this character's reaction, and then this happens. So kind of like piece it together. Like there wasn't really a system. There still isn't really a system. I'm still working on it. So yeah, that probably wasn't helpful, but that's how I do it currently.
I don't think that really, it's whatever works for you. I've tried a couple of people's ways of doing it. People like do this, and reading a couple books, but ultimately I've kind of piecemealed together what actually works for me. And so you're gonna find that this, if you look at different people's methods, that you'll do this, do a little that, and then you're gonna find one that you're like, yes, this is how I need it to work, and you'll add in, whichever thing works for you and get it done.
Yes. Silver gives their main characters names, and then minor characters have random temporary names. Yeah. I mean, again, whatever works for you. We're just talking about what we do. Regina was saying outlining sometimes goes slower than drafting, so 100 words is great. Yes, so I totally agree. That was in response to Luna Rabbit. Yep. I prefer to give my characters names as they pop up. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily say I need these side character names for when a side character inevitably pops up. It's more just like, here's a character. I Google a name, or I go to some baby name website.
I do the baby name website, yes.
Gabby, I don't know how to outline either. I just think events in order. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what I do. Save the Cat is a popular one, currently using outlining with Rachel Aaron's 2K to 10K. I read that book forever ago. I didn't remember it having an outlining system. I might have to reread that. Because what's really funny is that my nano project, it has I labeled it in a way that clearly I was using an outlining method, but it's not any of the outlining methods I covered in my outlining video, and I don't know where I got this system from. So I'm like, maybe it's in that book or some other book that I've read that I don't remember. There was a while where I was reading a bunch of writing craft books all next to each other, and I was so it's probably from one of those. I just don't remember which. Haley, what? Oh, sorry. Emery was saying try and get into my character's head, so it's practice for me. Okay, for the practice scene. Got it. Gabby was being told by Haley that world building is exciting. Okay, Gabby wanted to challenge with outlining, but it's hard. Understandable. Stig didn't keep track of word count, but got some points done on long outline, productivity. Also, awesome. Yes, yep. I was trying to say. Let's see. Oh, Ashley has to go. Bye. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye.
If you are just coming in or have not already liked the stream, please do. It's very helpful. Also, I want to mention, I will mention this later too, at 11 p.m. Eastern time, the Worldwide Write-a-thon starts. I will pop a link of the playlist into the chat later. I was supposed to co-host a stream tomorrow night, and this weekend kind of just got upended for me, so I pulled out because I didn't want to be a crappy co-host. So, yeah. So if you guys at any point want to dip out so you can have a break before the 24 hours of writing and 36 starts. I understand. But thank you all for being here. Let's see. Okay. I always make an estimation for the scene I was talking about. Okay. Otherwise, I info dump. Oh, interesting. I just underwrite in general. So like, I think if I set word count goals for my scenes, I don't think it would work for me. But that's a cool system. Haley's going to be working on plays. Very cool. Yeah. Cover artists are highly prized. That is.
I don't know if I'm going to do any good at it, but we'll see. It just sounds like fun, so.
Yeah, just have fun with it. Gabby was designing their characters with illustrations and personalities. Cool, cool, cool. Do you do personality tests or something with your characters? Gabby or Nia?
I do a little bit, but sometimes with what is the character chart called? It's slipping my mind right now. But sometimes I'm like, my character's a little bit this, but he's also a little bit that. So I don't want to like squeeze them too much into a box. And then I want them to change with an arc. So I don't want them to be too rigid that they're the SF, whatever.
Okay, because I know some people who do like the Myers-Briggs and the Enneagram and like horoscope and Hogwarts house and everything. And I'm like, okay. There's so I have only written romances so far. I have ideas for non-romance stories. But for the story that I started in July, not the one that I had been writing in April and finished in July, but there was a story I had started writing in July, and it's around this like dating app, or it's an app that people have co-opted to use for dating. And I was like, okay, I want to be really cliche and have people like have their like birthdays in their usernames, which in real life is a bad security practice, but I just thought I'd do it for fun. So I was like, okay, what I randomly generated numbers, and then I acted as if those were birthdays, and I looked up the horoscope compatibility of them just because I was procrastinating on writing this story. And I was like, does this work? If not, I changed the numbers. And that's the farthest I've ever gone. And like, that was for a story that has nothing to do with magic or anything, whereas this had to do with magic, and I was just like, I mean, I think they're bored at this time of the year. It doesn't come up in the story, so why does it
That's funny.
Emery loves designing covers. I have one for the project, even though it doesn't have a name yet. That's cool. Hey, Lizzie, thank you for coming. Stig made a pretty cover for Nano Project in Canva, House and Visualize Representation of my book. Yep. Yeah. Most of my book ideas, which when I get a book idea, it's like, oh no, this will eventually be written. It's not like, oh, I don't know type of thing. Most of them have actually come after I've gotten a pre-made cover. And then it's like, okay, I'm locked in. This will happen. It might be years from now, but it will happen. So I always have like the motivation of like a cover on my computer.
That's good. Got
to the midpoint yesterday. Congrats, Lizzie, and wrote the second half today. And now I'm writing the aftermath where their girl doesn't leave the house. So you on Sarah Sutton's stream, you had said like, oh, you're writing the important scene. So I'm assuming the important scene was the midpoint. So that's exciting. Okay, Stig recommends Abby Emmons on outlining. Jenna, yeah, love Jenna. I have almost all of Abby's videos on my watch later playlist, but I haven't watched any of them yet. But I hear she's amazing. Everyone is recommending Abby. Emery said same. I'm not sure what that means. Hold on, wait. I just got to ask my mom something. I'll be right back. We're going to start the next sprint very soon. But I just got to ask my mom something.
All right. Let me look and see what's going on in the stream. I'm just reading some of you guys' comments. Yeah, when I do my character names, they usually have something to do with the story. And then I try to draw them out a little bit so that if I have to describe them that in the story, then I won't say that something like they've got a dimple and then the dimple's like gone for the rest of it. You know what I mean? So if someone's got a scar and then they don't have the scar later, I like to, have little bits of their characteristic known, so I draw them out. I like to draw
That's
my
cool. Let's see. Yeah, I like take off your pants for outlining my names from the personality. So is that what you were talking about? Or no, you were talking about illustrating them. So
yeah, I went back a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Sig will be hosting is hosting a stream during the Worldwide Readathon and co-hosting on 2 others. So 3 in total, yes. I think, is what I'm understanding. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, app. What app? Sounds interesting. I'll probably read that nice. After the sprint. I mean, it's fun to watch people on AuthorTube doing that for their characters. I just don't think I would do that. When people are talking about last names are hard. Yeah. In the book that I'm writing for Nano, I have it's called The Matchmakers, and they're actually the villains of the story. And it's a group of them. And I was like really trying to figure out how to come up with last names. So what I wound up doing was picking the last names of musicians that my mom and I really like because I was bored, and I was like, here's a theme. People won't know unless they know. Oh, Dollify. That's a fun app. Okay, so let me type in the next code. I should have done that forever ago, but I got distracted. Okay, for people who want me to read out the code is 3KE5G5Z. Bye, Stig. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry we only got through 1 sprint, but thank you for the support. Okay. Do you want me to read it out again?
Okay, I think I'm good.
Yeah, you're in. Okay, I'm going to start the sprint in 3, 2, 1, go. Happy sprinting, everyone. that was the end of the second sprint. How did people do? Nia, don't forget to unmute yourself. Also, I just realized I've been saying Nia. Is it Naya?
Nope, Nia's right.
Okay. It occurred to me in the middle of the sprint, and I was like, I should ask. Lizzie and Nikki were talking about names, like naming characters, and then Girl Meets World versus Boy Meets World, and they both agree that Boy Meets World is better than Girl Meets World. Oh my God, it doesn't
Way
even
better.
compare. Ugh. Carrot Cake
night and
came
day.
in and late. We'll do some small document tasks and join in the next one. Yes, definitely. We have 3 more to go. Let me see. Lizzie was talking about how they put people from their real life into their book and then had to leave because tried to skip chores and then their sister got yelled at. So Lizzie had to go. If you come back and rewatch this, Lizzie, I will say that as someone who is taking a course about publishing and media law, just changing the way someone's name is spelled does not protect you if they decide to sue you. So, if you're writing under a pen name, the likelihood of them finding it isn't that high, but no one wants to be sued for libel because it's a very expensive thing. So if they're still in your book, maybe just come up with completely different names for them. Hi, Charlotte. Thank you for being here. Alley Cat forgot this was still going. Yeah. On Fridays, I'm doing 3-hour live streams, which is different than what I normally do. So no worries. It's okay. Nikki has to go eat dinner, and the reason Charlotte was late was because she was eating dinner, which is fine. Oh, Lizzie's back. Yeah? You're back. Okay. Cool. Either those were very quick chores or your sister got the brunt of the blame. So good for you either way, I hope. Not that you should skip out on chores. I'm not encouraging that. Lizzie's parents, please don't blame me or anything. My parents don't bully me to this day. Some people take jokes way too seriously. Oh, that sucks. Okay, Carrot Cake. Finally got a loose outline for my big series. 7 books and at least 4 novellas. Well, you missed the beginning of the stream, which is fine. But Nia is working on outlining, has a series that's going to happen. It's 3 books and 1. Well, it's 4 books, but 1's a prequel, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to be like 3 books in 1, and I was like, no, they're all books. Like, none of them are like necessarily novellas at this point.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, I might do some side comic strips for them, just for the characters, just for a little fun thing. But no, they're books, and it might end up being more than 4.
Honestly, I feel
it's growing.
Book series are hydras. You're like, oh, it's going to be this long, and then it almost is never that long. So anyone who sets out to write a X book long series and actually ends up with X books in that series, kudos to you. That's self-control I don't have. Because okay, if it's a trilogy, then I have the self-control. But other than that, I have a series for fairy tale retellings, and it started out as 2, and then it's currently sitting at 6. And part of me is I have ideas for others. I'm not even entertaining the ideas. That's the 1 book series I have maybe that doesn't have covers already. Prior to me writing them, it's you know what? I'm okay with that because it lets me maybe I could add more books to it if I wanted to, but at the same time, I don't want to add more books to it because 6 books is a lot in this series and for me to do, given I write standalones and trilogies, and that's about it. So, seriously, love reading them, like writing them, but they're a lot.
They are. They keep growing and growing, and it's like, because I think nobody wants to know about this, and then I tell my outline. I've got someone that I say, "Is this a good idea?" And I tell him what it is, and he's like, literally like, "Keep going, keep going." I'm like, "So it's a good idea." He's like, "You got to tell all that and tell," and he'll ask me. I'm like, "You want spoilers?" He's like, "Yes, give me spoilers. I'll still read it."
I'm that type of person. Like, I'll be that person for friends. Whereas if it's like a movie or a TV show, I don't really want spoilers unless it's like a movie that like I'm gonna watch no matter what people say, like about reviews or like spoilers. But like if it's something where it's like I'm on the fence, or it's like, oh, I like it enough that I know I'm gonna watch it, but I don't want spoilers, then I'm normally like, I never give spoilers because most people I know just like hate spoilers all around. Whereas like, there's sometimes I'm okay with getting spoilers, but let me tell you that I'm okay with getting a spoiler.
I'm like, ask me before you spoil it for me.
Yeah. My mom had a friend of hers. Yeah, a really old time friend of hers, but this was forever ago, had spoiled something for my mom. And my mom was like, what? And I was like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person who messes it up for someone. Okay, I typed in the new code for the next sprint. I will read it out loud if you want to type it in. We're not going to start the next sprint yet, but it's going to be set to go. 3XP UG5S. I can read it again if you want me to. XP UG5S. Cool. Okay, let's see. I'm going to quickly go through the rest of these comments. Finished my assignment for class and was asking / interrogating a friend for horse knowledge for my nano project. I mean, if you have a friend who knows stuff about horses, I'm sure that friend knows a lot about horses. There's always like that horse obsessed girl that like someone, yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone knows someone like that, but maybe that's just me. I love how my girl protagonist has the same mood as me. Yeah. I mean, I don't write self-inserts, but all of my characters definitely have like an aspect of me. And some of them like have this shared aspect of me. Like all my characters are pretty like sarcastic. It's something I can't really help. And it's like I wouldn't say every character would say the same sarcastic comment as someone else, but they would all say the same sarcastic comment as me. Does that make sense? Like, it's not like I can point to one character and be like, that's me, but I can point to all of them and be like, they all share a part of me.
Yeah. A little bit of you in there.
Missed the forest planting, but I wrote 329 words worth of backstory. Ooh. Wow, good job. We're doing, hold on, let me pop the code up on screen again. We haven't done the third sprint yet, and then after this sprint, we'll have 2 more. Carrot cake, 3 hours every Friday. Yes, only through the end of November. I think I was going to say in December I was going to stream it all, and then a friend of mine who I wanted to stream with in November's schedule doesn't line up with mine. I'm sorry, I live in the city. their schedule doesn't line up with mine at all. So I will probably be streaming once a week again in December, like I normally do. It's just for October and November. I'm volunteering with the Mighty Pens, which is like a writing / fundraising organization run by Kat Bauer and Susan Dennard. So they were like, oh, is anyone hosting sprints? I was like, well, I host ones once a week, but if you want me to up it to 3, I'll do it. And why I skip 2, I don't know, but it's it's fine. Lizzie said, don't worry, that's my first book, and I only got 100 pages into it. It's so cringe. I almost put everyone I knew at the time in there and roasted them. I mean, famous authors have done it, but I'm just saying libel law is a scary thing.
Yeah, just make sure they like what you wrote.
Yeah, I mean, like Jane Austen basically roasted everyone she knew in real life in the letters to her sister. So it's not like she spared them anymore in her fiction. So it's not that it's not done, but I'm just trying to share the knowledge I have learned. Lizzie just had to sweep the litter. Okay, so one chore. I'm sure it's not pleasant, but it wasn't crazy. Alley Cat got 197 words. Hi, everyone. Right with Melanie. Sorry I'm so late. Just wanted to come and show you all some love. Thank you. We will be doing 3 more sprints. This code is for the 3rd one, and then we have 2 more after. We will start it soon. And better late than never. Let's see. The comments just jumped. Okay, Lizzie says, I'm gonna have to plan a trilogy and novella soon. Send help. I'm a standalone queen. I mean, just comment on AuthorTube and everyone will commiserate. Unless you're Sarah Sutton, who has successfully written only standalone so far.
That's impressive. I don't know if I could do it. My stories,
they're all connected, kind of ish. Like
okay.
Alan's in the high school, she was like, I don't know if I should. And then in one of the stories, they mentioned the other town, and she was like, oh, like I don't know if I should do this. And then she said it on a live stream. I was like, isn't that from your other book? She's like, yeah, good memory. And I'm thinking, did people not pick that up? But yeah, carrot cake. I get so much about the growing storyline. Subplots are going to be the death of me. Yeah, gotta. If you have too many subplots, maybe make a companion book. And a companion book is different than a sequel because a sequel happens after the events of the first book, and a companion can be literally the same events, just from a different character's perspective. My second 2 books are like, this one is basically full sequel to like the first 2, but this is like, it's a companion for most of it, and then the end goes beyond the first book. And it also starts before the first book, so I don't know. I called them all sequels because if you haven't read them in order, you kind of spoil yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But if we want to get technical, according to Jenna Moresi, who made a whole video about it. Lizzie, first book, mermaid romance. Second, mermaid exposed to human race. Third, boy becomes mer king and marries mermaid. Should work. Cool. I mean, spoilers, but like, sounds cool. Excited to be able to plan at least one tree with you all tonight. Thank you. I'm excited you'll be able to too. Friend does horseback riding for Yeah. Yeah. That person is going to know a lot. Girl Protag House, 6 protags. I've written 4 books written. She's close like me. Didn't mean to make her that much like me, though. Sometimes it just sneaks up on you. Combining. Wow. Okay. Combining mechanics and magic. So a lot of research is going into it because I know nothing. Been there. Love discovering characters' backstories. Amazing to see how everything weaves together. 4th book and 4th standalone. This one doesn't have a companion yet because it takes place away from my other books. Gotcha. My next book standalone, all books in the lineup standalones. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love my cover artist.
Oh, yeah. The books are gorgeous.
Thank you. This person did not do all of my book covers for my other stories, and I love all my covers for my different stories, but one of my cover artists is giving me problems and I don't know what to do about it because I don't want to have the covers redesigned. But I don't know. If I don't get an answer soon, I might have to do something. These are fine. These covers are staying. They're not going anywhere.
Zara, could you show the binding? Did you do it?
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. I'm like, I love this kind of stuff.
Okay, so this is the front, obviously, with the title and my name. And then nope, that's upside down.
I like that.
So then the title and my name, and at the bottom, really slowly, small, not slowly. Oh my God, my brain is a little fried today. Is my logo,
Nice.
which is similar to the logo that you can see in the top right corner of the screen, but it says ZH Press instead of my full name. And then the back is the book description, but it's a wraparound image of his wings.
His wings, yes.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And then this one, so the guys on here don't have wings, but the elements of them kind of wrap around to mirror the wings. He's a werewolf, if you couldn't tell by the wolves on the cover. So it's like all forest stuff. And then she is a siren, so there's water, but he does fire in a scene. So I was like, put that on the cover.
They're beautiful.
So I was like, get that in there. Yeah. My cover artist is great, and I would share the name of her, but I think she's already booked out through 2023. So,
because I was gonna ask.
Okay, I can message you her name, but I don't want to like publicly say her name and have her be like, Zara, I know you love me and I love you back, but like, stop. So, I can message you her name. Also, spoiler alert: if anyone reads my book, she is in the acknowledgments. Because I am a grateful author who would never not thank my cover artist. I'm a bit afraid for when I get to the point where I get a cover artist because I pray it captures my vision. I mean, you want to look at someone's portfolio because like I was able to just be like, this is what the guy looks like. This is what the girl looks like. Have at it. Please have these elements because he's a werewolf. And in this one, I was like, she's a siren. So I want water and he has fire on there. And like, he's the girl's brother. So like the twin brother, they got to look enough alike. Like that's really all I said. And she was just like, ran with it. But yeah. Okay, we're going to start the next sprint in 3, 2, 1, go. Happy productivity, everyone. that was the end of that sprint. How did people do?
I did good. I've been just writing away.
Yay! That's the best. That's the important thing. My mom and I are going to be moving temporarily, so I did some packing for that. And by packing, I mean I threw a bunch of stuff in my suitcase. I need to actually pack it to make it fit. Waiting for comments to come in about how people did. And then I'm going to set up the next sprint.
Okay, so I'm doing my total. It looks like I've added another 339 words.
Awesome.
And I am almost done outlining. I'm getting to the part in the outline where like it's like the last book, so all the big stuff is happening.
Yay! Oh my God, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's so exciting.
I know, I was like, let me, one more word. Oh yeah.
264 is good, Lizzie. Sorry. So when you say last book, you're including the prequel? Like, did you?
Yeah, the prequel. Yeah,
Okay, so you've like outlined it as book 0, even though it won't be the first book to come out, obviously.
Right. I kind of outlined it as history. Because I outlined from the history and then the big part of the past that we're actually gonna, do in the book, and then it goes on to where we are now. Gotcha. So I'm on the last part now.
Okay, the code for the next room. Do you want it? 59 WFCCA. $59 WFCCA. I kind of wish you could pick your own fonts within StreamYard too, like not just change the color and the background, but let's see. Okay.
Pro.
Yes. Just to clarify again, Nia picked all the trees that we've been doing. Lizzie got 264 and said slow writing evening. I still think that's great. So don't be too hard on yourself. Gabby was reading the book and taking a few notes here and there. I'm assuming you mean Save the Cat. My Instagram is my name, Zara Hoffman. And if you message me on there, I can send you my notes for Save the Cat, where the book Save the Cat writes a novel is like the whole beat sheet, and then it goes into further depth, whereas my notes are in depth on every chapter in the order of the beat sheet, so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth. So if anyone is interested in that, you can DM me on Instagram, and I will send out images of my notes.
That is such a good idea.
Because that's just how my brain works. Like reading it, it was fine. But I was like, if I'm going back to reference this, I want it in the order. I don't want to have to keep flipping. No writing, but more research done for Remedy the Williams. And a full checklist is in the works. Checklist as in like what you do with the horse or what you have to write into your story, or what type of checklist? I'm curious. I make lists for everything. So I'm a nosy person. Spent the last hour having an iCloud panic attack. Oh no, what happened? That's not good. There was last week. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago at this point. I had to change my Apple ID password, and it messed up a lot of things for me. And then last week I accidentally deleted all my calendars, and then thankfully I like restored the last backup of my calendar, so I'm good now. But one thing that got messed up is that every time I try to buy something on my phone, like even a free app, which is not buying, it doesn't let me. And I wrote to Apple, and they were like, and I had a chat with them, and like we found a workaround. And then I wrote to them again when I had the same problem the next day. They're like, we'll get back to you in 24 hours. Haven't heard a thing from them. And I'm like, that's weird. Normally you're really good at customer service. What's up? I mean, I would count words in an outline, especially because I'm doing no wordy. But like for a sprint, I would count the words. Whereas, you know, like on the NaNoWriMo website, like I wouldn't. But like for me personally, if I was like watching someone sprint, like on a live stream like this, and then I would count the words I've written for my outline because you did the work.
Yeah, I'm only counting them because I'm on the sprint. Normally when I'm doing my outline, I don't count them as words to words, you know, the actual novel writing. So
yeah, like I would record the word because you did them, but I get the like the feeling like you're not actually working on your book yet, which you are. And you know, if you're on yourself for being like, oh, why am I not productive enough? You need to remember that you are doing work, but totally get the separation.
Yep.
Lizzie posted another quote. It's not that I don't like when people share their quotes. It's just I normally don't have enough time to do that with all the other comments coming in, and I think it would be unfair to like put some quotes on screen and then not others. So Lizzie, I see your excerpts, I love them, but that's why I don't put things on screen. There are some other people who come to other ones of my streams who constantly post quotes of theirs, so I just want to clarify. It's not that I'm ignoring you, I'm just not putting it up on screen. Administrative stuff, yeah, totally get that. Alley Cat got 350, awesome, and dinner, important. Has anyone been writing Comic Sans? Yeah, so I now write my AuthorTube scripts in Comic Sans because it goes faster. I haven't been able to make myself write my novel in Comic Sans yet. I will on November 1st.
Yep. But
until then, I'm resisting. Although I shouldn't be, because I now know that it really works, which pisses me off that it works. But like,
I know,
it's like this, like on principle, it upsets me, but it works. So I have to get over I got over myself for my like AuthorTube scripts because they're long. I have to say, like my AuthorTube scripts are not short because I really only script videos where like I need a lot of information to get out there, like about my videos about musicals and stuff. But it's it's like I stare at it and I'm like, I don't like that this works.
Yeah.
I heard yellow and navy blue are supposed to work really well for the font color changing to help you write faster. Yellow would give me a headache, and
I couldn't do yellow.
And I haven't done navy blue yet either. Although I'm less opposed to that than I am to Comic Sans. But I feel like in Nano, I'm just going to bite the bullet and do both. Like navy blue Comic Sans and hope that helps me write a lot.
Yeah. The first novel that I wrote, and I wrote a novel that I did not publish. If you read or if you watch my AuthorTube newbie video, it talks about that a little bit. But I did write one just to prove to myself that I could do it. And it was written in Comic Sans, and I don't know if that actually, I guess it did help me just get through it. I was able to knock it out, and I hate that it works because
exactly, right? You know, like,
really.
Okay, we're going to start the next sprint soon, so we have time for the fifth one, but I'm just going to quickly go through the rest of the comments. Regina, you changed your password, and then, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Apple right now, because changing your password should not F up everything for, like, so severely, and that has never happened to me before after changing a password, except the last time, so I don't know. I wish I could troubleshoot for you. OMG, that made me think of the time years ago where my documents got corrupted. So I switched very briefly at the end of 2019 from a Mac to a PC for for kind of stupid reasons. I'm not going to share the reason. But I switched to it. And while I was doing it, I was, transferring my old files over. And there were a surprising number that had just been corrupted, even though they hadn't been open for years. And I'm like, why would that happen? Like, they were old Pages documents that had just been corrupted. I was like, I haven't done anything to them. So I don't know. I get a lot of computer things, but there are certain things that happen. I'm just like, I don't understand. The checklist is for aspects of the world I need to research. Gotcha. So a research checklist. Hi, Nikki. I ate dinner and did some other stuff. So you're back now. Thank you. We have 2 more sprints to go. I don't know if you're in the room. Let me pop the code back up very quickly. We're going to start very soon. So Nikki, if you want to enter the code fast, I would do that. Same with you, Words Fall Rights. Thank you for being here. Premises of Sound. Nice username. Also, welcome to my channel. Not preparing for NaNoWriMo, but working on a uni assignment instead. Need to stay focused. Yeah, I mean, nowadays when I am watching a friend of mine live stream from the other side of my screen, I'm actually normally doing homework. I'm very rarely writing on streams that I'm attending, that I'm not hosting. Which, I mean, will obviously change during NaNoWriMo, but
no, that's good. It helps you get your homework done. It's important.
I treat most streams as productivity streams, even if they say like writing sprints in the title. I'm like, you know what? As long as I'm doing something rather than just playing a stupid game on my phone, I call it a win. Charlotte creates. I've never read Save the Cat before, though it is on my TBR. I highly recommend it. So yeah. Also, if you want my notes, again, my username on Instagram is Zara Hoffman, no space, and just message me and I'll send you my notes. Okay, Remedy, the Williams posted their color code. I'm not exactly sure why, but cool. I will look that up later to see what color that actually is. Charlotte and Lizzie are sticking with PC because of my story, apparently. And then Carrot Cake, those were the days I used OpenOffice instead of Word and Google Docs, never going back to OpenOffice. I never liked OpenOffice. My problem was I had a flash drive and it corrupted, is actually my biggest computer horror story. And it happened while I was on a ship and not able to like do much about it. So yeah, I switched back to Mac. I was like, you know what? iCloud, Lifesaver, also Dropbox for my Scrivener files. So yeah, exactly. There's something about knowing others are working. And we're going to start the sprint in. Oop, let me add the timer back to the thing so people can actually see. We're going to start the sprint in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. This is the second to last sprint of the stream. How did everyone do? We have one more sprint to go tonight.
I did good. Another 317 words. And it's still outlining, so it's hard to get a big word count, but it's going very smoothly, so I'm happy.
I'm glad it's going smoothly. Waiting for the comments to come in. I'm setting up the final sprint room because I want to get us into it pretty quickly so we can end as close to 10 as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? We're going to start it in a minute. So we'll start at the 40 and we'll end at the 10, and then we'll wrap up very quickly after that.
That sounds good.
Regina got 265. That if Charlotte got 491. The code 4W35YCV. 4W35YCV. Lizzie said only 253. You say that, and I quite honestly, if I had written over 200 words in 20 minutes, I would still be very happy, even though that's about 10 words per minute, because it's still words. Gabby kept reading, also worked a bit on her outline. Premises of sound got 31 words, but that didn't include referencing and adding to my outline. Gotcha. And it is 9:40. So we are going to start the sprint and then we will wrap up at the end. So we are going to start in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. We will see you at the end of this final sprint. And that was the end of the final sprint. How did people do?
I did good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry about all the sirens. I don't know what's happening right now. Regina got 265 last time. Okay, Charlotte got 491 last time. Lizzie got 253. Okay, Remedy, I think also last time, said more research and interviewing done. At the end of the last sprint, Carrot Cake had added up my loose outline words to 470, but I'm going between documents, rereading, and piecing these together. I'm slowing down a bit, but things are making more sense. Well, that's what matters. Lizzie headed out before the last sprint, so thank you. Lizzie, sorry I missed you going. YouTube was slow with the comments. Spence, hello. We just finished our last sprint of the night. The good news is that Jessica Williamson has organized a worldwide write-a-thon to start tonight in exactly an hour. And it is 24 hours of writing within a 36-hour window. The schedule, I will pop in a link to that now. Once I find it. Playlist. This person did not list the playlist in their description. Okay, I'm gonna look for that in a moment. Regina got over 1,200 words for the day, and the book just crossed the 91,000 word mark. Congratulations.
That's
Regina,
great.
thank us for hosting. Our pleasure. Carrot Cake. Guys, I'm getting emotional because I'm writing a part where my characters were young and it's so bittersweet. Yeah. I don't know if I get that emotional when I'm writing most of the time, but I definitely do when I'm reading. Used to sirens, yeah. Remedy, 51 words, and it was my turn to help my brother brainstorm. Fair is fair. All right, it is 10:03. So, Nia, do you want to plug yourself one more time before we end the stream?
I am the Vixens of Fiction here on Facebook. You can come check out my channel. I don't have a lot of content posted yet since I just rearranged my whole YouTube channel, but it's coming along. I'll have some new videos posted tomorrow. So if you want to check it out.
Yes, her link is down below. Definitely subscribe to her. She's awesome, as you can tell. My name is Zara Hoffman. I'm a self-published author of young adult paranormal romance. I am hosting writing sprints for the rest of November and for the rest of October and through November on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Sundays at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am about to post the link to the Worldwide Write-a-thon, which is happening in a little bit less than an hour now. And I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. This was my first time doing a 3-hour long writing sprint live stream, and thank you for being here. It went very well, which is also definitely in part to my awesome co-host.
This is my first one.
Yeah. Give a clap for Nia. She did a great job. This is the Worldwide Write-a-thon link. It is in the live chat. And on November 1st, I will be hosting a 4-hour writing sprint on my channel starting at 8 a.m. Because I will have 6 guests with me. And, it's the start of Nano, so I want to do a little bit extra. But that's it for tonight.